Hello. Hello, you guys. Let me make sure I have some audio because I am doing something different tonight. I have a um a mic tonight and I want to make sure that I the audio is coming. A mic tonight and I want to make sure that Okay, so I do have some audio, but I need to be very careful about movement. So, hello, you guys, and welcome. Let me make sure I go live on Instagram. Let me make sure I am live. Woohoo. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. Yay! Hello, you guys. We are live. Welcome in, beautiful souls. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hopefully, you guys, this audio was coming through. Because I just literally did the setup, the tech setup right before I got on here, and I haven't used this yet. So hopefully the audio is coming through a lot better for you guys. So hello, you guys, and welcome. I'm so super excited, you guys. The channel has grown. As you can see, the channel has grown by 40 subscribers overnight. Ta-da! No, I'm playing. No, but y'all remember when I said that I was going to get my feet in the ground, right? I was going to get into my community and I was going to go look for God's people. I did just that, right? Because it is something that God placed on my heart. And so I am just obedient enough to follow God's orders. And so I met so many of you guys today. I met so many of your precious souls. Oh my gosh, everybody. Oh my gosh. Everybody was so sweet, so kind. I just met such precious souls today. And I'm just so super excited that I got to meet each and every one of you guys. I was just so inspired by God in each moment that, I was meeting a new soul. Everybody that I met was so very poised, right? They were just so inspired by God's light. And mostly everybody that I've met today has a entrepreneurial mindset. I met a lot of people that was in business, and that is something that surprised me, right? And when I talk about business, I talk about how closely business and life was aligned. And so I met so many people that was doing business and didn't even know it, right? They were doing it in a very natural way. And so it was so interesting to meet everybody. Okay. I was so super excited, but I want to send a special shout out to the youth. Okay. Because there is a major attack out on our youth today. And just to see that they had so much patience and kindness with me. They were, and this is for everybody too, but this is especially for the youth, right? Everybody had very positive energy for me. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to come speak to you and take the time to hear what God had to say and what God was trying to place into your life. But especially to the youth. The youth showed me so much respect and care and honor. I was very surprised by that. That just lets me know that we're not in as bad of a space as I believed, right? But God definitely gave me reasons to continue, right? Because we're not perfect. We are evolving. And so I'm just super excited, you guys. I'm super excited. So I just do want to send my gratitude out because this moment was very important to me in my journey. And I think I can say that I am the example of you can have what you're asking for. You just have to ask for it, right? You can have what you're seeking. You just have to ask for it. And there was no way God could allow me to have this title unless I showed up to what it was that I said I was going to do. And meeting you guys and my channel growing by 40 subscribers today is the proof. Is the proof of you can have what it is that you ask for. You just have to open your mouth. You have to open your mouth. And the universe is providing you by way in which you believe, right? So you guys, I have, well, not me, but God has such a special, very special message for you guys tonight. Hi on Instagram. Hello. Instagram, if you don't know, you are separate from the live stream, but I'm still streaming from this app. And so if you do make comments, I won't be able to see them right away, but I definitely will be able to get to them. So I'm so excited for tonight's message because it's so very deep, y'all. It's such a deep and profound message that meeting you guys let me see exactly what it was that God needed me to put down in this season. Every single time God sends me on some kind of like journey, I am just amazed and inspired by my abilities to transmute what I experienced throughout my day to turn it into a message. So I'm just going over my notes really quick. I don't want to miss anything because I just want to give you guys praise because it was just such a great experience for me. I also had this feeling when I did meet with you guys, and when I came home, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I don't want to let anybody down, right? Like I'm not perfect. And so I was just like, God, are we going to be able to continue to inspire these people to their highest selves? And I instantly felt that pressure and that responsibility. But, God has prepared me for this very moment. So, but let's get into the message, you guys. But before we do, I want you to understand the importance of why it is so important for you to open your mouth, right? Why it's so important for you to open your mouth, because you are the main component of the universe. And if you don't demand what it is that you want from the universe does not know how to provide for you. The universe does not know how to provide for you if you are not telling the universe what it is that you need. For an example, just think if I didn't go out and do what I said that I was going to do. That is me asking with my actions what I want from the universe. And the universe just met me where I was, right? The universe just met me and matched my energy and sent me the people that I needed to speak to. That's why it's so important. It's very important for you to be able to project a manifestation over your life and you actually take the actions to move, right? So 5 days ago, I projected an idea over my life and I said, I'm going to get in the streets. And that's what I did today. So that's why it's important. That's how you ask the universe for anything, by a way in which you move, right? So let me turn this audio down. I don't want to get this. So let's get into the message, y'all. This message was curated by you guys. Me meeting with you guys today really showed me what it was that what I needed to talk about. And we got to get back to the basics, okay? So this will help you understand how the universe is working for you, because when you understand who you are, then you can understand how the universe works for you, right? So you are a soul being. You are a soul being, right? So let's break that down. A soul is a magnet. A soul is a magnet to the universe, right? A soul is a magnet to the universe. So let me see if I can put this on me, because I have an example. And sorry if this is loud, because I know I heard some loud noises. Hopefully the audio still sounds the same. But I have an example. This is you, right? This is how God created you, right? This is your vessel. This is your body. This is your vessel. This little small antenna right here is your soul. This is your soul. And so this antenna acts as a beacon or a signal to the universe. God created you with this so that you would be able to be consistently provided for, right? God created you with this antenna, this soul, or this magnet, so that way you can be consistently provided for, right? Without this magnet, there is no way of you being able to communicate with the universe. God created you with this so that way you can continue to communicate with God about what it is that you need. That's what a magnet is. That's what you are. You are a soul being. You are a soul being. And so you could never be disconnected from God, ever, because you have a soul. Because you have a soul. And so God is always providing. Now, in which ways God is providing is up to you, right? And that's why I gave you all these other techniques on how to get what it exactly is that you need from God. But this is the basics of who you are. This is your vessel. God made you with a soul. So that way you can always stay in consistent, right? In consistent communication with God, right? So you, the core of you, which is your soul, acts as a beacon or a signal that's being sent out to the universe based on your beliefs, your thoughts, your actions, and your habits, right? What you are comprised of, your personality, all these things are being sent out to the universe as a beacon. You are a vibrational frequency. That's what a soul is. It's energy. So you are carrying a frequency, right? You are carrying a frequency. And so that will send a signal to the universe about what it is that you want, right? So, but Choo, what is the universe, right? Because you're like, okay, I know that I'm a soul. I know that I'm sending out a signal or a beacon into the universe about what it is I want. But what am I sending a signal to? What is the universe? The universe is a giant scanner that is always supporting your belief systems. So you could think about it as an omnipresent giant scanner that when it comes your way to provide for you, based on what you believe, based on the energy you've been putting down, based on the habits you've been putting down, that's what the universe is going to provide you with. So for an example, if I believe that I am lacking in abundance, that's what the universe is going to provide. That's what the universe is going to provide me with, a state of lack. So based on your signal, right? Your signal is your vibrational frequency. That's the only way the universe knows how to provide for you. If you have a soul, if you are a magnet, this is where they talk about magnetism. You attract your dreams by tapping into your magnetism. That's what that is, right? Because you're a magnet and you have to know that. So the universe is a giant scanner that is always supporting your beliefs. And so determined by what your beliefs are is what the type of provision you will get from God and the universe. So does anybody have any questions before I move forward? Because I don't want you to miss what it is that I'm saying. I don't want you to miss it. Okay. So you communicate with the universe based on your vibrational frequency. So you can fine tune, you can refine your belief systems by in which what you do, who you hang around, the type of stuff you're eating, the type of stuff you consume. All of these things determine your vibrational frequency. And so we can no longer blame money, and we can no longer blame God for why we are experiencing low vibrational, low quality experiences with God, because we know that we are co-creating with the universe and God. And so if we want to have high vibrational, high quality experiences with God, we must be putting ourselves in that position every single day. We must be doing everything it is that we can do on a daily to rise our vibrations. Because we now know that the way in which I communicate is based on my vibrational frequency. So I don't get to blame anything else but myself for what I'm getting from the universe, because the universe is working. But are you working with it? Are you actually a component? Right? Are you actually a component? Are you participating? Are you raising your hand and saying, hey, look at me, this is what I want? Because we now know this. So there's no excuse. All right. So you are a soul being that acts as a magnet that sends out a beacon or a signal to the universe, right? So that the universe can support you with your belief systems. Okay. It serves you best based on what you're feeding it through your actions, habits, and belief systems. Okay. Because let's break this down. Your belief systems, what you believe about yourself, will determine the way you act about yourself, will determine the kind of habits you have about yourself. So the first thing that's the most important is your beliefs, because that would then determine your thoughts, your actions, and your habits. And so if we know that this is how I'm communicating, then that means I need to be checking what I am doing with my time and my energy and my focus. Okay. So no blaming the universe or God for why you are not experiencing what you need to experience. Very true. Yes. Romeo says very true. So I want to address something. I hope you guys got that message. If not, you can put some questions down, even if you're on the replay. I'll try to get us to as many comments as I can. But I want to address something, because what I noticed when I was out and about interacting with you guys, when me and God was interacting today, I noticed something that was a common denominator, right? I asked most people if they had a dream, right? I asked you guys, do you have a dream? And most people thought of the dream and said no. I'm gonna say that again. Most people thought of the dream and then said no, which means they have already counted themselves out. They have already counted themselves out. They didn't even get themselves a chance, right? But God wanted me to come break down this concept, because we have to get to the basics of things, to the core organic way of things, so that way we understand what it is that we're doing, right? So God is love, okay? God is love. Love is understanding. So God is love, all right? And love is understanding or understanding, whatever you resonate with, right? God is holding the highest perspective of understanding for who you are at the core, right? God is just holding the highest perspective of understanding for who you are at the core, meaning your soul. Because we just went over what a soul was, right? We just went over the fact that you were a soul being. So that is what God is understanding. God is, so So God is not judging you for your mistakes. God is not judging you for whatever you've done in the past. God is only understanding you for your core, right? Romeo says self-doubt. Self-doubt, what in particular? um, so love is, sorry, y'all. Love is understanding. And so God is holding the highest perspective, right? This is how God can continue to provide for you exactly how you need it, because God is always 10 steps ahead of you. God is always 10 steps ahead of you. And so that's why you could be experiencing something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed. Because what you're doing is already done. God has already, that's already come to pass. And so God will always know exactly how to provide for you. Right? Because it holds the highest understanding of who you are. Of who you are. Right? So let's get into God's intentions. Because when you know God's intentions, then you know, we'll get to it. God's intentions were to create itself in many different light fragments of itself, which is you, which is the soul. When you were born, you rode down here on some energy, right? We got to get to the science of who you are. You are light projection. And that's what they mean by, oh, I'm a Capricorn or I'm a Taurus. You rode down here on Taurus energy, right? You are projecting here as light fragments, right? So we will call this a perspective or a dimension, right? So God designed you in a way so that you can continue to desire the highest understanding of yourself on a deeper level, which is God. So God created you so that way you could, yes. So Romeo said, when you asked a question about people's dreams, they didn't speak on it because of self-doubt with their dreams. Yeah, absolutely. Most of us are dealing with self-doubt. And so when you do that self-doubt, you just kind of like, that is not important. I won't talk about it, right? So, so God created you again. You have a soul, right? This is your beacon. This is my little, demonstration. But God designed you so that way you can continue to desire more of God. I don't want you to miss it. God designed you so that way you can continue to desire more of God. But when you're not seeking the will of God, then that's why you're having problems with knowing whether or not you can dream. Okay, so we're going to unravel this. The only way God could get you to do this is by way of placing dreams on your heart. It's an incentive to continue to seek God, right? The only way God could get you to be, like, okay, I want to continue to seek the will of God. I want to continue to know who you are. God had to give you some dreams, some incentives. Like, look, if you seek more of me, you can get this, right? So God had to place some dreams on your heart in order for you to want to be involved in this co-creating thing, this co-creating relationship, this co-creating experience, whatever you resonate with, right? And so this is essentially what dreaming is, thinking of your highest self. This is what dreaming is all about. You continuing to seek the will of God and thinking of your highest self. So when you say you don't have dreams, you're saying you don't have God. Because God didn't create you like that. God created you so you can continue to seek more of God. And that's the process. God had to place some desires there. So you can go to God and say, what is this? What do I need to do? What are my next steps? God wants the glory. You're not doing it by yourself. And that's why a lot of us are not dreaming, because we're trying to do it alone. And that's not how God created you. God created you with a soul. So that way you can send out a beacon. So that way you can send out a signal and say, what is this? I need your help. I need more understanding. And so I need to get into stillness with God because I need that understanding. Because I know God is love, right? And love is understanding. And I know God has the highest understanding about who I am. And so that's where I need to go in order to access my dreams, right? That's where I need to go to. I don't need to go nowhere else special. I don't need to do nothing else. I just need to go to God. Because that's who has the highest understanding. That's who is 10 steps ahead of me, right? That's who is 10 steps ahead of me. So if I'm going to go anywhere, that's where I'm going, right? Everyone that is here has the same desires as God. And so you were born with specific dreams so that way God could live through you in your particular dimension or perspective, right? So when you say you don't have a dream, you have to understand the science of who you are, right? Because God placed those desires on your heart. If God has made you in different light fragments, right, of itself, you are made in the likeness of God. And so your desires will be the same as God at the core of who you are. Not what you've come down and, when you came down to play in the ego realm, right? Not all of those things, those desires you picked up, but the core desires of God, right? Which is to seek more. That's the core desire you have. So that is the dream you have, right? That's that dream that you have. So this is very important to understand because it will help you to mind your business. It will help you to not focus on what other people are doing with their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, because God is doing something different in their life. God is doing something completely different in somebody else's life. But because you worried about somebody else's dream, God is over there. But God is over here too. You are living in a different dimension with God, in a particular perspective with God. God is giving you certain desires and dreams, putting those things on your heart because it wants to live through you specifically. Everyone that is here has the same desires as God do, right? So God had to put specific dreams on you so it could experience different things through you. If God wanted to have the same experience, everybody would look the same. There would be no originality. There would be no uniqueness. And so that's why you have to mind your business. And that's why you have to mind the dreams that God gave you. Because again, God wants the glory. And so you have to be able to tap into your dreams to understand who you are. Your dreams are not to live out the dreams that somebody else is living. God has gave you a particular and specific dream. So that way God could live through you in your particular dimension. In your particular dimension. So whatever dream, listen. So your dreams are validated by God, the original creator of you. You don't need no validation from nowhere else. If the thing that created you, you ain't hear me. If the thing that created you put specific desires and dreams on your heart. That ain't enough for you to say, okay, I'm going to do this. This is now what I'm going to do this. This has been validated by God. Now I know why these dreams are here, because God wants to experience something specifically through me. And so if I am sleeping on them, and so if I am laying down on them, and I am discouraged, and I am being defeated by the enemy, I am not doing what it is that God sent me here to do. Because all of our desires are the same as God, right? God wants to co-create with you. But if you don't even know that you are a soul being and that God created you to have a magnet, so that way you would never, ever go without understanding what it is that you're going through, then I can see why a lot of us, when I asked that question, do you have some dreams? A lot of people said no. Or, I'm not sure. But God said that's no more. I sent you Choo Nicole, and she is going to get the message out. She's going to get the message out. You are a soul being. You are my child. I created you in the likeness of me. I created you in the likeness of me. Right? And the universe is acting as my assistant. Right? The universe is acting as my assistant. I created the universe. The universe is acting as my assistant. Right? So we have to learn how to become better at how we communicate with God based on our vibrational frequency. God gave you a soul, and God knew that you were a frequency. God knew that it created the universe to assist, right? But it also knew that you had to understand how you worked. And so if you want those high vibrating frequency experiences, you have to get into the alignment of that. God is not going to just hand it to you. God do not discriminate. If you want to have low vibrational experiences with God, then that's what God gonna give you. God is not your manager. God is your boss. God is Lord. And so if you that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. So this is why God has called me to do the meditation videos, the visualization technique, right? The beliefs about the money, because these are all high vibrational belief systems to take on. We didn't come to play with you. Y'all might have seen me today. Hi, da, da, da. We ain't come to play with you. That was to get you here. That was to get you right on in here. Because we don't got no more time, y'all. We don't have no more time. We need people activated in their communities. There needs to be more leaders in their communities. I cannot get into your community. Only you can. God wants to experience. Y'all ain't hear me. God wants to experience something specifically through you. So I cannot get activated enough for you to get activated enough to get in your community. I can't talk to the people in your community. Only you can. Because God don't want to experience it through one person. That's why you were created as a fragment, so that God can experience itself in many different dimensions. And so everybody is responsible for activating their own community. We didn't come to play. We need more leaders. We need more embodiment. We need more people operating in their God bodies. We need more people with God in the flesh. It's harvest season. You better believe the enemy has come to collect too. Not just God. The enemy has come to collect too. So this is why we need we need to get to the basis, the organic nature of who you are. So you know how to work this thing. So you know how to work this thing. Right? Y'all, God be coming through like, dang, are you mad at God? No, so your dreams are validated by God. Your dreams are validated by God. You don't need no permission from nowhere else. What you waiting for? God has created you with desires, which by way is your dreams, what you call dreams. Right? So we said dreaming is essentially you thinking of your highest self, which is you thinking of God. So you have to understand the detriment, the life or death situation, if you're not thinking about God. This is life or death. That's why I said we ain't come to play. Because if God ain't got you, then you know who do. If you're not thinking about God, what are you thinking about? Because you're not thinking of your dreams for sure. Because we just broke down the science of who you are. We just broke down the science of who you are. And so God had a problem with, me walking up to a whole bunch of people and they said that they ain't had no dreams. Because God knew then I'm not in their life then. Because I didn't create them like that. That's not how I created them. I brought them here so they could have dreams. So they could desire me. Because I created you so that way I can experience something through you. Right? So if you're not following your dreams, if you're not visualizing, then you don't have God. And if you don't, you need to get busy. You need to get busy. It's never too late. It's never too late to get busy with God. It's never too late to have God in your life. God don't want you desiring these material, third dimensional plane things because God didn't create you like that. God didn't create you like that. Like, yeah, I just want a nice car and a house and stuff. No, God can't fit. We talked about this yesterday. You have to be dreaming so big that God can fit because God created you to dream big. Because God knows how big it is. So I'm be honest, if you're not dreaming big enough, God ain't coming. God just not coming. I'm not talking about no lukewarm relationship with God. I'm talking about a real relationship where you're actually truly desiring God. And you embodied. And you on purpose. And you in your community. That's where God can fit in at. You have a dream to touch the souls of people. You have a dream to create legacy. I'm not talking about these little small businesses that's going on. I'm talking about a legacy. I'm talking about a footprint. That's big enough for God to fit in. That's what God wants. Because God didn't just create you. God created many. And so God can't do it alone. And so God needs you to be activated. God needs you to be embodied in your community. Because it's not just you God needs. God needs the people that's around you as well. And God can't have the people in your community until God has you. So your dreams, because you're not going to activate unless you know your dreams are solidified. So your dreams are validated already by the original creator of you. And so look no further. You can begin. Look no further. You don't need to go nowhere else. God has given you what you need to get busy. But this is all about what you feel you are worthy of. Do you feel that you are worthy of God's provision? Do you feel you are worthy of God's praise? Do you feel worthy to be honored by God? These are the things that we're dealing with when we think about inviting God into our life. Do we feel worthy of God? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself, because that will determine whether or not you activate. Activation means that God is in your life. Embodiment means that God is in the body of God. That God can come and use you as a vessel. So those are some questions that you're going to have to ask yourself. Do I feel worthy of God's provision? Or do you feel like you need to do it alone? Right? Because don't you want somebody that's 10 steps ahead of you? Don't you want something that's 10 steps ahead of you, that's providing you with exactly what you need? You have to be worthy of that. You have to feel worthy of that kind of provision. But I'm not going to lie. We have been so disconnected from, our beliefs and what we were sent here to do that we probably don't feel worthy of this kind of provision, this kind of foresight, right? That's why you got to get you if you are a male on here, you got to get you a lovely wife, because all women, God is comprised of two energies, feminine and masculine energy. And God is majority feminine energy, because God is the original soul, right? God is the original soul. And so feminine energy is dark matter energy, which is what God is, which is what a soul is, right? And so when you have a woman in your life, she has the ability of foresight, meaning she sees everything coming. She has critical thinking skills. So she'll have foresight, right? She'll see things happening before they happen. And that's spiritual protection. That's spiritual protection. That's spiritual protection. Don't sleep on a goddess. Do not sleep on a wonderful goddess. Okay? They're very powerful beings. I'm not saying that the man not, but I'm just trying to get you to understand the science of who you are, of who a woman is, right? So we're just going to end on this. Your dreams are validated by God. Seek no more. You don't need any more permission from nobody else. I've decided that my information is valuable. What you get is what you see. I'm not here to entertain. I've had to come up with that in my mind. Like, my community is just gonna have to appreciate what I provide or not. But this is what it is. So if they don't like it, then sorry. But this is what God has called me to speak about in this season. This is what God wanted to experience through me. And so that's how you need to be about your dreams. Well, this is what God gave me. So if y'all don't like it, then y'all don't like it. Stop allowing other people to define your dreams. You don't need no permission to be who you are. Especially when you know that God put those specific desires on your heart. God created your personality, everything about you. And so you don't need seek no more. You don't need nothing else from nobody. The original creator said that you were good enough. And that's the only thing you should be trying to please. Because why? Because that's who holds the highest understanding of who you are anyway. So why would you seek from anybody else? They don't got no high understanding about you. They ain't 10 steps ahead of you. Why do you care? So why do you care about what people think about your dreams? Because most of us are not active in our dreams because we care about what people think. Because we care about what people think. And that's not who you're supposed to be caring about no opinion from. You're supposed to be seeking God's counsel daily. You're supposed to be seeking the counsel of God daily. Because that's what validates you. In those big dreams you have, this ain't for the small thinker. The stuff I'm talking about is for people with big dreams. I am debunking blockages for people with big dreams. This is not for people that don't want to dream big. I'm moving things out of the way for people who want to dream big, leave a legacy, get in a community, turn it up. This is not for people who just want to play it small. This is not that type of conversation. We did not come to play. We didn't. We didn't. This is for people that are ready to think big. Ready to think big. Ready to take a risk and a chance with God. There is no such thing as security. I spent 2 years of my life homeless. Ain't no such thing as security. Home is where the heart is. So home is where God is. So if you're not taking a risk, what are you doing? Because the game is rigged, unfortunately, in this third dimensional realm. And so you're going to feel like you're taking a risk. Stop waiting for it to feel safe enough to come out. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to pop out. And if you have to do it scared, then you have to. Because this ain't that. This is for the person that's ready to dream big and do big things and take massive action. I ain't talking about the little Philly fart step. I'm talking about a big enough step to where you didn't quantum leaped, right? Where you didn't transcend it beyond what you thought you could. This is who this conversation is for. I told y'all my goal for this 30-day live event is to activate one soul. One. And you're going to know who you are because God has already been encouraging your heart. And so you on the edge. And so you ready to leap. But hearing these conversations just sends you over into activation. This is how you know this message is for you. Because God would have already been encouraging your heart. It's your season. It's your season to experience magic, the magic of God. So God said that you are safe. You are saved. And you are separated from the rest. You are separated from the rest. It's your time. And so if you are being called to become activated, this message is for you. If you see me, if you can hear me, I'm talking to you. We didn't come to play. We came to speak to a soul. We came to deliver a soul. So if you can see us, we're talking to you. We're talking to you. And so I hope this message helped you guys. That is all God had for you guys tonight. I'm so super excited because I know this is going to change the perspective for somebody's life, especially when we getting out into the community and seeing what it is that God's people needed in this season right here, this moment right here, this present moment right here. This is what God people needed to hear. This is what God's people needed to hear. Okay. So yay, I'm so excited that you guys join me tonight. Be sure to let me know and let God know what you are grateful for in this season. Why? Gratitude is a healing mechanism, you guys. And gratitude is your accountability action for you letting the universe know that I see you. I see you. I see how you've been providing for me. I'm seeing evidence of your provision daily. And so if you are not holding yourself accountable, if you are not doing the gratitude, then you are not really progressing towards something, right? All right, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the message tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Have a good night.